Okay, so I finally fully reread my journal entries for the new moon in Scorpio on November 19, 2025. And I kind of read uh, like what was going on a few days prior to the 19th. And I honestly love that practice of going back 6 months ago and seeing the progress and or how I was in what headspace I was, because honestly it brings me closer to me. It gives me compassion, and I just want to hug myself because I'm just so fucking ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. In the best way. And I'm laughing. I'm happy that I'm able to laugh at the disaster that the past 6 months were. The disaster that the last 9 to 10 months have been, to be honest. um it's just really hard lessons and learnings, and it's just not the vibe. But what I'm the most grateful for is that as I'm reading this, like you can tell by my face, I'm excited, I'm laughing. There's I just find myself so ridiculous in the best way, because I feel like on a daily basis I take myself too seriously. So to be able to like read my own words and my own experience with so much distance, but yet so much proximity, because at the end of the day, it's me. Like, I haven't changed that much. Like, I did, but not, you know. To have the distance to read me and to connect with past versions of me that already had so much wisdom and a way of explaining things, it brings me closer to my core. It centers me, and it brings a lot of gratitude, not only for the person that I was and the person that I am, and hopefully the person that I'm becoming, but also, also for the things that actually occurred in the past 6 months that I actually wrote down. And it wasn't things, it was mainly, I think I'm more and more trying to go with not naming things that I want to happen, but ways of being and sensation and experiences I want to experience. And yeah, honestly, a couple of them like occurred, and I'm very grateful, and the rest is unfolding. I mean, a new moon is a culmination, you know. It's the peak, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of something. It continues, you know. So when you plant the seeds in the new moon, you and I don't know if I said new moon or full moon, so sorry if I keep mixing them up. I'm just in the flow of me talking. But when you plant the seeds in a new moon, some will take, some won't. Some will grow, some won't. Some will take longer to grow because you're not planting the same thing. You're planting different types of seeds. So some of them will take 2 years after you've planted them, at the same time as something that will bloom in 6 months comes the full moon in the same sign, you know. So even though not everything came true or occurred, I feel like they're just they've, they've yet to see the full light of day. I'm excited for it. And I feel like a new moon is an initiation. So that also means that you are probably reckoning with yourself, doing your own cleanup to make sure that there are less obstacles for the things that want to come your way, or the things that you're calling in. So for the stuff that did not come true yet, um, I am I can see how I've been paving the way for them to come to me more easily by doing the hard work of reckoning with myself and dealing with so much fear of being seen and self-doubt and hesitation and grief, so much grief, and literally going against what I wrote. There's one thing I need to share, because I'm like, bro, the fuck, what are you did the opposite. And it's mainly probably because I wrote it down. I said, honor my soul's knowing more and more. And right underneath that, I said, stop giving stop giving in to things that are based off of fear or guilt, and keep leaking my energy, my momentum, and my power. I need to stop doing that. What have I been doing for the past 6 months? Leaning into everything that was keeping me small and dim and in energy leakage and out of momentum, and giving my personal power away more and more, and acting out of grief, fear, and guilt and shame. That's how I've been operating for the most part. Be careful what you write, because sometimes, especially with Scorpio placements, we go to the deepest depth of the depths that we could go to, and we get stuck there, and we forget that as above, so below. So I have expended my capacity for suffering and fear of like so many things, and therefore I hope that for the next 6 months at least, I'll be able to go and explore the expansion on the other side, which is my capacity to trust and believe and have faith, and move with more levity and lightness, and be able to bask in the light and the glory of all of this fucking work, um, and not hesitate. Just go for the momentum, see the opportunities, and be rooted in my sacral center, that like, oh yeah, this is a visceral yes, oh yeah, this is not a yes, this is just a maybe or a later or a no. So don't engage, go do something else. Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, there's a couple of other things that I'm either seeing that I'm cultivating right now, or that I'm very excited to make space and make room for in the coming weeks and months, that either didn't occur, or that I feel like I've shit the bed or missed opportunities, because I was just going through shit, or moving through this process with like everything but enthusiasm and excitement. I was working through all of this with so much rigidity and sadness and grief and pain. A lot of shame. It was very much self like shame based. I think it was just me working through that shame and what I was given last year, and probably in prior lifetimes, and in my lineage. It's for sure not all my shame, but I'm working through a lot of it. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the things that have yet to come through, and for the things that are unfolding, and for the things that I'm seeing, the progression of how I'm approaching them. There's one thing in there that is like relational based, and I see how I'm taking my time and not forcing it, and how with the other person it's like genuine, like, hey, I'm looking forward to it, just know I'm here, I know you're here, and we'll align when it aligns, because we both want it. And I'm like, yes, yes, please and thank you. And is it the best situation of my life? No. Am I enjoying it enough to go see what's up and keep it light and fun? Yes, because the other person showed me enough space and care, and putting me in a place where I get to decide, I get to speak on what I want and how I want things. And they show that they're just happy to be around, and they have the capacity to say yes and no. And I trust that. And I trust that they can and will state their limits and desires, because that's how it started. So I'm like, go you, not being in the scarcity mindset of like, go, this needs to happen right now. It's like, oh, my plate is full, I'm dealing with so much, I don't have the bandwidth to like self-abandon like I used to in other relationships. I'm not in scarcity mindset, I'm not looking to date anybody per se. So I'm like, whatever comes my way, I'll evaluate how I feel. And right now, this is quite nice. It's nothing specific. It's just okay. This is here. This is now. This is unfolding, and great. Let's see what's up. No pressure to put it somewhere to get a specific tag on it. It's just like nice. This is fun. This is good. This is light, and this is sweet, and thank you, basically. And I like that. That's a good progression. That's just, yeah. I'm this list and this entire morning outside is helping me realize the progress that I've made with the simplest things that that are not that easy to untether or to change. And I'm noticing it, and I'm grateful for that. I'm also taking stock of all of the things that have occurred. It's also giving me the opportunity to thank myself for going through the motion, even though I feel like on so many instances I did not do what was in my best interest, and I kept saying no to myself. And that's something else that I'm gonna keep on working on, that I keep reckoning with. Why the fuck am I saying no to myself first? Well, because when I was younger, my urges and my natural desires kept being stunted by my parents, my family, systems that be, the fact that we needed to do things a certain way. Uh, there was no space for it. It was weird. It was too avant garde. Avant garde, just like out of this world, not the norm. Like, why would we encourage her or let her indulge in that? Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. So it was too many no's around me to propel my inner yeses. So I just integrated the no's, and instead of feeling like I'm being constricted and restricted and rejected from the outside, I just say no to myself first so I don't have to face uh, these external this validation on validation, lack of validation all the time. And now I'm just like, bitch, just do whatever fuck you want. And trust that what comes up is the right thing, even if it doesn't make sense on paper, because it doesn't need to make sense on paper. It will make sense in retrospect, 6 months later, 3 weeks later, a year later, when you read it and you're just like so happy to be who you are. And you're just amused with yourself because you are a ridiculous human being. And I say that with the most amount of love and amusement. Thank you for being such a ridiculous human being, Mahansha. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, if you haven't done it yet, I encourage you to go read your journal entries or look back at your calendar of like what was going on 6 months ago, what you were doing around November 19th, 2025, what was going on around the new moon in Scorpio, and see how it resonates with this full moon in Scorpio. And I hope that it will yield as much uh, fun and a whimsy and like face palming moment for you as it did for me, because I feel like that brings a lot of joy, and a good shift of perspective when we approach our lives like this, at least for me. So hopefully it informs your practice as well. As always, thank you for listening and watching, and I hope to be able to do some of these a little bit more frequently. um, don't be afraid to face what's coming up. Slow down, be gentle with yourself, and the new moon in Taurus in 2 weeks is gonna usher in, ushering, usher in uh, some newness, freshness as we continue our way into spring, to the warmer weather, into the flowers coming out, and the revival of just so many things rooted in the body and in the care and in pleasure and in things that we can see unfolding through time. So, bye for now.